we'll move on from there. So yeah, thank you for posting where you're from and any business affiliations. We'll also update the FAQ document on our website. We encourage you to use the chat box to ask any questions of us, and we will be looking at that throughout the session, and we'll also have a dedicated discussion session at the end. So with that, I'm going to go ahead to our next slide. If you're here to learn about the Sale Catalyst program, that's great. And we do have another mentorship program that's part of Sale that we can touch base on at the end and just briefly let you know about that. This is for small and mid-scale direct marketers. And during this 1 hour or less session, we'll be providing an overview of the local catch network, EcoTrust, and the Catalyst program. We'll go through the selection criteria, the application review, what it means to commit to this program and the expectations we have for cohort members, and then Q&A and next steps. So at this stage, well, 2 out of 3 of us are here. I already introduced myself. So Tyson, go ahead and introduce yourself and your role with this program.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name's Tyson Racer. I'm the Fisheries and Food Systems Senior Program Manager with a nonprofit organization called EcoTrust. I'm based in the north coast of Oregon in a small town on the north coast called Bay City, near Tillamook Bay. Our organization serves communities from Northern California, Oregon, Washington, and up into Alaska. I'm on the executive committee with the Local Catch Network, and I've been working with the Local Catch Network to implement the Sale Catalyst program since 2021.
Thanks, Tyson. And I'll add, I'm looking in the chat. We have a bunch of Mainers in here, and also in Maine and Freeport and Wabanaki homelands here. And since we have so few people, I'd actually love to do quick introductions outside of the chat, but I also just want to mention that Josh Stoll, who is a co-founder of the Local Catch Network, is doing a lot of work with the sale program behind the scenes, and he's not here today, but he's also part of this program. So yeah, does anyone want to unmute? You can go ahead and just introduce yourself if you'd like to, since we have a small group.
Go really quick. I'm Kristen, and I own Tapley Cove Oyster Farm in Brooksville, Maine, and I'm just going into my 4th season. So there's me. And I was in Freeport yesterday shopping. So
Oh, nice. It's a good place to do that. And thanks. I know you just joined us as a member, so it's nice to see you, Kristen.
you too. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I can unmute. Sorry, I'm in the process of moving, so my house is a complete disaster. So I'm video off. But my name is Jacqueline Clark. I am the co-owner of Nor'easter Oyster Company. We are a 1-part oyster farm in South Bristol, and then we are 1-part seafood processor, value-added food producer in Brunswick.
Great. Thanks, Jacqueline. And go ahead.
Hi everyone. So I was like got the info from Mary Park from the greencrab.org. She shared the info with me so I could join you guys. And with my main a nonprofit organization, we have our office based in Portland, Maine. We just launching sort of our pilot projects around salted green crab. So we start sort of getting connection with other green crab trapper or like catcher to get some green crab supply for our projects. So I'm just here to learn more about what you guys doing.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. And Jacqueline, I think we met briefly at the Maine Blue Economy Summit a couple of weeks ago. And yes, Mary Parks and greencrab.org, that's a great organization. So glad you are all here today. And we're just going to share a little bit of background around local catch and EcoTrust. And Tyson, why don't you go ahead and share about EcoTrust first?
Yeah, sure. EcoTrust, its mission is to inspire fresh thinking that creates economic opportunity, social equity, and environmental well-being. And overall, the organization's goal is to foster a natural model of development that creates more resilient communities, economies, and ecosystems. And our staff work in a variety of areas and places, including food systems, farming, ranching, fisheries and seafood, forestry, watersheds, mapping, database development, and software development, and more. So we're pretty diverse and just work in a lot of different places around, mostly focused around the Pacific Northwest and Southeast Alaska as well. And EcoTrust was established in 1991, and our headquarters are in Portland, Oregon.
The other Portland.
Yep.
All right. And for those of you that aren't familiar with LCN, we established in 2001 as a hub for knowledge exchange, collaboration, and innovation in support of local and community-based seafood systems. Over 2,000 members of LCN live and work in communities across North America, Pacific Islands, Caribbean, and Indigenous territories. And we're supported by an executive committee made up of fishermen, technical assistance providers, and tribal representatives from US and Canada. And we have institutional support from the University of Maine. So I'm going to turn it over to Tyson for our next slide. And we have one more person joining us.
Oh, great. You able to let them in?
Yes, I just
Okay.
did. Although,
Cool. Right on. Yeah, I didn't see the note pop up on my screen, so thank you for doing that. So about the SAIL Catalyst program, and kind of the history of the Catalyst program, we ran our first SAIL Catalyst program in 2021, and we ran our second SAIL Catalyst program in 2022. And we missed kind of a year there, a couple of years there. I guess it was 2022 and into 2023. And then we had our third program in 2025. So this will be our fourth SAIL Catalyst cohort that we're implementing. I'm excited to do so. The history of the Catalyst program, really, there's an interesting connection between my work at EcoTrust and the local catch network. And that's in 2017 through 2022, EcoTrust had a business development program that was in a cohort model, a lot like the Sale Catalyst. And for that program, we had farmers, ranchers, and fishers and seafood businesses kind of all in the same cohort, learning about kind of the marketing and sales side of their business all together. And it was a really fantastic model. People were able to learn from each other and were sharing products with each other, and noticed a lot of similarities across the food system. And in 2021, the local catch network started to lean into the idea of replicating that model and thinking about how can we bring a model like that nationwide and do something specific for our seafood harvesters around the nation. Enter the Sale Catalyst program. And overall, the Sale Catalyst program, again, it's nationwide, and it's producer centered. And it's really designed to help strengthen the food systems and strengthen the businesses by providing more knowledge and skills. And I think overall, like really working on the networking component. That's one thing we hear year over year about this program is the importance of being able to network with other seafood producers that share similar opportunities and similar challenges. So we're happy to keep this program going as a part of this kind of network development model, but also providing skills and resources along the way as we move forward. You can go to the next slide. And so, yeah, what is the cohort model? What does the Sale Catalyst program structure kind of look like? And so this program is a 3-month virtual business training program. We have classes that are essentially twice a week. And those classes are from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is, I think, that's 1 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So our time on this slide is off, but that would be from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And that's going to be every Tuesday and Thursday. And we'll have more information and more slides that show this later. It'll be every Tuesday and Thursday from, I think it's January, I want to say 13th, all the way through April 2nd. So the full kind of 3 months. And it's all virtual. It's all done over Zoom. And the real purpose of this, again, is to just assist the seafood businesses, and those folks are participants, and expanding their networks and kind of thinking about like the information that we provide, how that can help the businesses that do the participate to streamline operations, potentially figure out like how do we scale up our operations if that's something the business wants to do, or just kind of solidify how it operates and how it manages itself and manages its functions through the information that we provide to just maybe make it more I guess manageable over time, right? Something that we're all striving to do with our businesses. And then, of course, we're really interested in just connecting different service providers, like-minded peers, and bringing in guest presenters along with our trainers to continue that networking aspect and making connections for participants of the program. And we do have different trainers that we bring into the program. So we'll take a look at what the session topics that we cover are here in just a moment. But each session is got a core trainer. It's not myself and it's not Jessica. We're just the coordinators, we're the organizers of the program, the hosts, if you will. But we bring in the professionals to do these different trainings on different subjects. And these are some of our partners that are here that do the trainings. Orca Design Group really leans into our marketing and branding component of the program. Farm Commons really gets into our labor and employment law section of our program. CFO for nonprofits, that's Winona Doris. And she leads many of our program subjects. She's the one you'd see most often. And then Daya Unlimited, they really get into contracts and partnerships and talking about the importance of contracts, how to read contracts, how to use contracts, things of that nature. And California Farm Link, and this year we're also bringing in CEI from the East Coast to talk more about access to capital and a whole session regarding accessing capital and what you need to be prepared for that, or how you can continue to move forward in thinking about accessing capital for whatever stage your business might be in. So we'll take a look at those sessions here next. So again, we'll cover the sessions look a little bit different as we move through the program. And some sessions might just be like, some subjects might be covered over the course of one session. Some subjects we might cover over the course of like 4 sessions. They're bigger, they're meatier, they're a little bit longer, and we spend more time with them. So for example, we have this business structure and entity formation session. That's over the course of 2 sessions. So we'll cover it over the course of 2 different days. And we'll review different various types of business structures and discuss the differences and implications of each of the styles of the business types you might go with, and the business structure that would kind of like maybe best fit your needs, or thinking about, do I need to have maybe a couple LLCs for the way I'm running my business? Kind of help think through some of those things and provide opportunities in that. Contracts and partnerships, that's over the course of just 1 session, 1 day. And that's really thinking about like, how to create, how to read contracts, and how they can aid in the protection of your business, really. We have an accounting session talking about accounting framework and managing for liquidity. That's actually one of our bigger subjects. It's over the course of 4 sessions. And during the course of those sessions, we talk about how to organize balance sheets, income statements, look at different bookkeeping systems, and also overall the participants just becoming more familiar with different various types of accounting. So financial accounting, tax accounting, managerial accounting, and resources that might be available to your business as well to help you through some of those things if accounting is a need that you have. Often we find in this program, like accounting is something people are very appreciative to receive additional support on. So if you're feeling that way, you're definitely not alone. We also do a couple sessions on marketing. We talk about branding, talk about marketing, leading with your values and marketing in different ways. That's over the course of 2 different sessions. We have an introduction to taxation. That's again a meaty subject. So that one's over the course of 4 different sessions in 4 different days. And through taxation, we're looking at like the basic understanding of the types of taxes, tax formulations, tax income, potential deductions that apply to you and your business. And the trainer will kind of review, and this is with Winona Doris, will review some of the most important pieces of tax information that are applicable to your businesses and kind of how that works with your accounting system as well, right? Because these things start to work together. So Winona kind of helps cross those subjects and those bridges and kind of where they meet up with each other and talks about that. And then, yeah, our session on access to capital, it's 1 day, 1 session. And access to capital is just really talking a little bit about like, what do you need to get prepared to access loans? And what are the different opportunities for loans that are out there? How do they function? What are some of the ways you can think about lending as an opportunity for your business and not necessarily like a burden? And how do you prepare yourself for that? We also have sessions on labor and employment. That's with Farm Commons and Rachel. That's over 1 day. And Rachel really just digs into what is a contractor, what is who are you employing and how are you employing them? And kind of the different types of workers and what that means for your business in terms of like liability and again, taxation, and setting up worker expectations, things of that nature. And then we have a couple more sessions on introduction to insurance. Again, insurance, there's a lot of different insurances that are out there. So Winona takes 1 day and just talks through what are the different insurances that are out there. What can business owners kind of do and take or look at to reduce their personal and organizational risk. And just the different types of insurance that might be available to safeguard yourselves over time. A lot of options. And the thing is, I guess you don't always need to over-insure yourself, but you also don't want to under-insure yourself. So where's that happy medium? So we talk a lot about that. Cash flow, also just important, goes along with a lot of these subjects, but thinking about the future, forecasting, how does that work for your business? How do you use a cash flow sheet? How do you start building in elements of your accounting and thinking through the future? Potentially, if you're thinking about taking out loans or you have other things that you're going to be building in, how do you start effectively building a cash flow sheet that can support you in your future decision making, recognizing needs, assets, things of that nature that'll have to come together. So it's a great session with Winona. And then overall, we do have multiple networking sessions. We leave time and space during different sessions. I think we have 4 that are going to be scheduled this year for the cohort to connect with each other, to connect on whatever subjects are maybe important to the cohort, to connect on things like values, just to learn about each other. Kind of they're more open sessions, less about the core content training and more about building that network, sharing information, learning about each other and kind of building that component of this program. Okay. And then for this application, a lot of people ask about what this whole process looks like. So just briefly, the application is a competitive process. We do get a number of applications. We can only accept about maybe 15 people into the program overall, or 15, I actually should say 15 businesses. So as you're thinking about filling an application, please do just take a little bit of time with it to explain yourselves, add in a little bit of detail, let us know who you are. We're looking for businesses that have some tangible experience in either business planning or strategy or finance or direct marketing, or leaning into that or getting into that even. We have, businesses that identify as small or medium-sized are something that we're looking for. We're looking for those that are in alignment with the local catch network's core values. And you can actually find the core values. Jessica is going to drop them into chat for you so you can pull up those core values for those that are in the session. And we're also looking for those that are just committed to equitable labor practices, community building, increasing access of seafood, And then also just overall, we have to have people that are committed and available to participating in the program. It's kind of a long program, 2 days a week over the course of 3 months, an hour and a half each day. So we're just looking for that commitment and people that really want this information, want to be a part of this and can commit to showing up. And even better, like I often say, like if you're thinking, wow, I'd really love to have someone else from my business join me as we go through this cohort together, we can do that. It's actually encouraged for more than one person from a business to come into these sessions because the more you learn together, the more robust and productive conversations you're going to have later on outside of this program alone. So it is something that we encourage. And then we'll also have preferences when we go through the program just for folks that identify as Black or Indigenous, Latina, or people of color, people that are women, LGBTQI plus, etc. And just some things to think about in terms of that commitment that I had brought up earlier. Attending all the trainings is something that we're hoping people can do and will commit to, or at least as many as possible. I realize there's obviously life happens, things come up. But people that can try to do their best and commit to this program throughout the course of 3 months. People that are going to commit to engage with each other, engage with the trainers, get the most that they can for the program. Our homework assignments are in quotes because most of our homework is actually a set of like surveys for your own information and for information for our trainers. And then there's optional work that comes through, different worksheets or different opportunities, suggestions from trainers for you to dig into your own books or you to dig into your own files or for you to work through a sheet of some sort to help support your thinking about a given topical session category that we're going through. So just commitment to like thinking about those things and doing those things as you need to keep moving forward and progressing with the program as subjects evolve throughout the 3 months that we're together. And then, yeah, just providing any data. We do have a number of different surveys, especially one at the end of the program that just talks about like, yeah, how did this go for you? And just want to make sure that people can commit to that and will do that for us and help us understand how we can improve what's working, what's not, things of that nature.
Yeah, so
Okay.
do you want, Tyson, do you have anything
Yep.
else you want to add?
No, I think that's it. Thank you, Jessica.
Okay, great, thank you. That's a lot of information. We're just about to the Q&A, so we'll turn it over to you all. And the last piece we wanted to share is just how to apply. So the application is on our website, and we'll pop that link in the chat along with the Sale Catalyst website. Application deadline, you still have a couple weeks to consider, look at your schedules, think about how this works over the next couple months in the new year. And we'll notify applicants in early to mid-December. And then, as Tyson said, it starts January 13th. And we did add one bonus session on the end. So the last date is that April 2nd. And yeah, so those are the initial opening and kind of closing sessions. And then we do hope to have a field trip in the fall. And this is something that has typically been done with the SAIL programs in the past. And given given it's a national program, people are fishing at various times of the year, but we found that having a field trip in the spring at the end was pushing it a little too close to folks' operations and getting on the water. So we decided to think about doing it in the fall. And Tyson, thank you for putting the links in the chat. And I think that we'll go ahead and I'm going to stop screen sharing and we can transition to some Q&A. So we can either, you can put your questions in the chat or you can raise your hand, virtual or real.
I can ask, how many people have gone through the program since it first was started?
Yeah, just about 45.
Wow.
Yeah, just about. And I would say that's like 45 businesses. Yeah. And then there's been a number of businesses that have multiple people, or they trade off, who can attend, but yeah.
And I did mention in the beginning that I would share just a brief information about the SAIL mentorship program. And that is separate from this program, and it runs on a slightly different time frame. It is a year-round program. It does start in early 2026, and it is for a smaller cohort. So we have 4 people each year. We have 2 mentors, and they both work with 2 mentees. And that is going into the 3rd year. And that is for businesses that are a little bit more in the middle or growth in the middle of their business, or in a growth stage and want to scale up quite a bit. Tyson, anything else just to add at a high level? We will be communicating through our newsletter and website when applications for the mentorship program are open.
Yeah, I'd say the mentorship program itself is only they accept 4 businesses throughout the year. It's also competitive, of course, for the number of applications that go into it. And I would say that, yeah, I mean, overall, the mentorship program is a good fit for folks that think they have a relatively strong grasp on kind of all those session topics that I listed earlier. Feel like you have all of that down fairly well. They're in motion, they're functioning for your business, and you feel pretty good about them, then mentorship's a great opportunity to really like grow and lean in and focus on a real specific need that you have. If you don't feel like you're maybe quite to that level yet, then maybe the cohort, the Catalyst program is a better fit for now. And then maybe like mentorship is a good opportunity to apply to in a future year.
Thanks. Any other questions, information folks are interested in? Yeah, I will encourage you, if you're considering this, I think the application is actually a pretty good litmus test for where your business stands with respect to a lot of these. It does cover a lot of the broad categories in the application, just so we can get a good idea for your business. So I encourage you to go through the application process. Whether or not you hit the submit button is up to you. And if you change your mind, obviously, that's fine too. Although I would encourage you to apply and, go through that process of that kind of self-assessment that is built into the application. Great. Well,
If you do have questions or if you have any needs or you want some support with the application, you're having an issue, whatever comes up for you as you're thinking about this program, do feel free to reach out to myself or reach out to Jessica. There are emails. I just put those in chat for you all. And of course, there's more information about how you can reach us and things like that online on the website and things of that nature too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And thanks for the folks who joined late too. I hope that you got enough information. And we did mention at the beginning, we were recording this session and we will post it online. So you'll be able to catch up with, the first 10 or 15 minutes as well.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day, and please feel free to reach out.
Okay. Have a good day all. Thanks.
Bye.
Probably stop the recording.